Providence Municipal Court. A corporate executive in a $2,000 suit walks into Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom with the kind of arrogance that fills a room. She's here for a simple speeding ticket. Should take 5 minutes, maybe pay a small fine, and she'll be back to her corner office. But 42-year-old Jennifer Hartwell makes a decision that will haunt her for the rest of her life. As Judge Caprio is speaking to her, trying to be fair, trying to listen, she does something so shockingly disrespectful that the entire courtroom gasps. She raises her hand and gives Judge Frank Caprio the middle finger right there in open court, on camera, in front of dozens of witnesses. What happens next is not justice. It's a masterclass in why respect for the system isn't optional, and why some mistakes can't be undone. Before we reveal the devastating consequences of Jennifer's moment of rage, I need you to hit that subscribe button right now, because we're racing towards 600,000 subscribers, and 97% of viewers still haven't subscribed to the narrator. If this story about respect, consequences, and the justice system defending its dignity makes you believe that courtrooms are sacred spaces, leave a comment below, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why Judge Caprio's response to this insult became legendary. Here's a question. When did our society forget that some places and some people deserve automatic respect, regardless of how you feel? Because what happened to Jennifer Hartwell proves that contempt of court isn't just a phrase. It's a line you never, ever cross. Tuesday morning, 10:45 a.m. Providence Municipal Court. The bailiff calls Jennifer Hartwell. Citation for speeding. 68 in a 45 mph zone. Jennifer walks in like she owns the place. Designer suit, Armani probably. Expensive leather briefcase, Rolex visible on her wrist. Hair perfectly styled, makeup flawless. Everything about her screams money and status. But there's something else in her body language. Contempt. The way she walks to the podium, the dismissive glance around the courtroom, the barely concealed eye roll when she has to wait for the judge to finish with his paperwork. Judge Frank Caprio looks up with his characteristic warmth. "Good morning, Miss Hartwell. I see you're here regarding a speeding violation on Route 95. Please tell me what happened." Jennifer's response is ice cold. "Your Honor, I was driving to an important business meeting. The speed limit on that stretch is ridiculously low. Everyone goes 65 to 70. I was going with the flow of traffic." Her tone isn't explanatory. It's accusatory, as if the traffic laws are personally inconveniencing her. Judge Caprio remains patient. "Miss Hartwell, the officer clocked you at 68 in a 45 mph zone. That's 23 miles over the speed limit. That's significant. With all due respect, Your Honor, that section just changed from 55 to 45. It's a speed trap designed to generate revenue. Everyone knows it." There's an uncomfortable shift in the courtroom. Several regulars exchange glances. This woman is already on thin ice and doesn't seem to realize it. Judge Caprio's expression doesn't change, but his voice firms slightly. "Miss Hartwell, whether you agree with the speed limit or not, it's posted clearly. When you're driving 23 miles over the limit, you're putting other drivers at risk." Jennifer lets out an audible sigh, the kind you'd give a child who's being deliberately difficult. "Your Honor, I've been driving for 25 years without an accident. I'm a safer driver at 68 than most people are at 45. The prosecutor speaks up. "Your Honor, I should note that Ms. Hartwell has 3 prior speeding violations in the past 5 years. 2 were paid, 1 was reduced through traffic school." Jennifer's face flushes with anger. "Those are irrelevant to this case." Judge Caprio looks at the file. "Actually, Ms. Hartwell, they're quite relevant. They show a pattern of speeding violations. This isn't a one-time mistake. This is habitual disregard for traffic laws." "I don't have a habitual disregard for anything, Your Honor. I have places to be and speed limits that don't reflect modern vehicle safety standards." The courtroom is getting uncomfortable. Even people who've never been to court before can sense this woman is digging her own grave. Judge Caprio tries one more time to be reasonable. "Miss Hartwell, I understand you feel the speed limit is too low, but the solution to that is to petition the City Council or the Traffic Authority, not to simply ignore the posted limits. Your Honor, with respect, I don't have time to fight City Hall over every poorly conceived traffic regulation. But you have time to come to traffic court repeatedly. It's a fair point, delivered without malice, but Jennifer hears it as mockery. Subscribe to the narrator if you believe respect for the court system is the foundation of civilized society. Judge Caprio reviews the officer's report and the traffic camera footage. Miss Hartwell, Officer Patterson noted that when he pulled you over, you were argumentative and refused to provide your license initially. Is that accurate? I asked why I was being pulled over. That's my right. You absolutely have that right. But according to the officer's report, you told him he was wasting your time and that you had better things to do than deal with incompetent traffic enforcement. Jennifer doesn't deny it. I was late for a meeting, Your Honor. A very important meeting that cost my company money because I was sitting on the side of the highway. Miss Hartwell, you were late because you were speeding. The officer didn't make you speed. You chose to break the law. The law is arbitrary. Judge Caprio's patience is wearing thin, though he maintains his composure. Miss Hartwell, the law is not arbitrary. The speed limit exists for safety. Your belief that you're above it because you're in a hurry doesn't make it arbitrary. I never said I was above it. Your actions say otherwise. 4 speeding tickets in 5 years. Arguing with the officer. Standing in my courtroom, suggesting that speed limits don't apply to you because you have important meetings. Jennifer's jaw clenches. Your Honor, I came here expecting fairness, not a lecture. Fairness is exactly what you're getting, Miss Hartwell. The fine for going 23 miles over the speed limit is $385, plus a mandatory driving safety course due to your prior violations. $385? That's outrageous. That's the law, Miss Hartwell. The same law that applies to everyone else who comes through this courtroom. Jennifer's face is red now. Her hands are gripping the podium so tightly her knuckles are white. This is absurd. I run a division at Northeastern Financial. I make decisions that affect hundreds of employees, and I'm being treated like a criminal because I drove 68 miles an hour on a highway. Judge Caprio's voice is firm, but not unkind. Miss Hartwell, your job title and income don't exempt you from traffic laws. The person who came before you was a delivery driver making minimum wage. Jennifer stares at Judge Caprio with pure rage in her eyes. Her breathing is heavy. Her face is flushed. And then, in a moment of spectacular stupidity, fueled by entitlement and fury, she does it. She raises her right hand and extends her middle finger directly at Judge Frank Caprio. The courtroom erupts in gasps. Multiple people say, "Oh my God," out loud. The bailiff immediately steps forward. The court reporter's hands freeze over her keyboard. Judge Caprio's face transforms. The warmth that's always there, the compassion that defines his courtroom, vanishes, replaced by cold, controlled fury. Miss Hartwell, his voice is quiet but carries like thunder. Did you just make an obscene gesture? At this court, Jennifer, realizing the magnitude of her mistake but too proud to back down, lifts her chin defiantly. I expressed my opinion of this process, Your Honor. Wrong answer. Catastrophically wrong answer. You expressed your opinion, Judge Caprio repeats slowly, by giving this court the middle finger in open session. On the record, in front of witnesses. Jennifer says nothing, but her expression shows she's starting to understand she's in serious trouble. Miss Hartwell, do you understand what you've just done? I made a gesture, Your Honor. Freedom of expression. The courtroom is dead silent. Everyone knows they're witnessing something extraordinary. And not in a good way. Judge Caprio stands up. When Judge Caprio stands up, you know something serious is happening. Miss Hartwell, you didn't just insult me personally. You insulted this court. You insulted the judicial system. You insulted every citizen who respects the rule of law, and you did it with premeditation and clear intent. Your Honor, You are not speaking anymore, Miss Hartwell. You are listening. The command in his voice silences her immediately. In my 35 years on the bench, I have dealt with people who were angry, frustrated, scared, and confused. I have shown compassion to single mothers who couldn't afford fines. I've dismissed tickets for elderly people on fixed incomes. I've given chances to young people who made mistakes. Do you know why? Jennifer doesn't answer. Because they showed respect. Judge Caprio turns to the bailiff. Bailiff, please approach. The bailiff walks to the bench. Judge Caprio speaks loud enough for the courtroom to hear. Place Miss Hartwell in custody. She is being held in contempt of court. Jennifer's eyes go wide with shock. Wait, what? You can't. I absolutely can, Miss Hartwell. And I am. Two court officers move toward the podium. Jennifer takes a step back, suddenly terrified. Your Honor, please. I'm sorry. I didn't mean. You didn't mean to disrespect this court? You raised your middle finger deliberately, Miss Hartwell. There was clear intent. You knew exactly what you were doing. The officers are now flanking Jennifer. She looks like she might cry. All her corporate confidence evaporated. Miss Hartwell, I am holding you in contempt of court. The penalty is 30 days in the Providence County Jail, with the possibility of reduction to 10 days if you demonstrate genuine remorse and understanding of why your actions were unacceptable. 30 days? Your Honor, I can't go to jail. I have a job. I have responsibilities. You should have thought about that before you decided to insult this court. Jennifer's voice is shaking now. Please, Your Honor, I made a mistake. A terrible mistake. Please don't do this. Judge Caprio's expression doesn't soften. Miss Hartwell, every person who comes before this court makes mistakes. That's why they're here. The difference is, most people show respect even when they're admitting fault. You showed contempt.